Hey, so welcome to Tech4Eva's Roadshow, where women's health meets workplace well-being. So today we are hosting this roadshow together with our partner Promotion Santé Suisse, which is a group here in Switzerland. And Helen can tell you a little bit more about its activities when she gives her talk. So I'm Simone. I think most of the cohort founders will know me. I'm the program manager of Tech4Eva here at the foundation, a PFL Innovation Park in Switzerland. So I've been managing the Tech4Eva program and community and building the community the last 3.5 years now. So today we have an exciting program ahead. So first we'll start with the pitches, the showcase of Tech4Eva's startups. Some of their solutions can be for well-being and or general improvement of the women's health. After that, we will have a short talk by Helen Kocher from Promotion Santé. And that will be followed by a panel discussion with Groupe Mutuel and a representative of partner AG, also moderated by Helen. And then if you have time to stay on, we will have a meet and greet and general Q&A, networking opportunity for all of you. And finally, if you stay until the very end, Helen will reveal a takeaway toolkit and some resources that can be very useful to all of you.
Which you will all get regardless of how long you stay, of course.
That was a teaser, Helen.
We done goodie bags, so.
Okay. So Tech4Eva's mission is to be an innovative platform. We're based in Switzerland, and the platform is for disruptive femtech startups worldwide to join forces with forward-thinking corporations to advance and improve technologies related to the women's health. So Tech4Eva was founded in 2021 by the foundation of PFL Innovation Park in Switzerland and Groupe Mutuel, which is a Swiss-based insurance company. And it's completely equity-free, global, mostly virtual. So we started in the middle of COVID, which is why we designed it that way. And then we kept it that way because founders really appreciated the format. And it allows us to remain global as well and accept companies from all around the world into the program. So how do we help these founders? We have thematic workshops on a monthly basis, peer-to-peer sessions where the founders exchange on their challenges, mutual challenges. We provide visibility at events, roadshows like today, conferences and partner events, where we also try to help to introduce the founders to potential customers or partners, as well as investors. And then also we have some great mentors, about 40 mentors that come from the business and corporate world to support these founders in the program. And then finally, we have a great community of femtech ecosystem.
Any other thing, Rishi, from your side, which you should do it?
So, excuse me, could somebody mute themselves? Okay. So we're now in the 4th year of the existence of Tech4Eva. So here you can see the femtech solution portfolio of Tech4Eva. We now have 94 companies in total, including this year's cohort. Here you can see the split by sector. And 25 of these startups are from Switzerland. All the other startups come from all around the world, North America, Asia, Europe mainly. We also had a South African company a couple of times as well. So in the last 3 years, the alumni from the first 3 cohorts raised $190 million plus dollars. And we have very limited resources, but we're very active. So we have many events, and here you can see some of the stats and how many people we have in the community. So it's great to always have everybody online to gather at events. So as mentioned, we provide some support and opportunities to the founders to attend some events, also in-person events. So here you can see some of the events we participated in the spring. We were at Viva Tech Paris, which is quite a large tech event. And we have an upcoming event in Berlin in October called Frontiers Health as well, where the founders can present and meet investors and customers. So our focus this year was mainly to help fundraising and go-to-market for the founders in the cohort, encourage more corporate engagement for women's health at the workplace. So we have planned this event today, and then there's another event also in October for the founders to meet some of the potential clients at the workplace. We'd like to communicate more on the impact that our alumni have on women's health. So going forward, we'll be coming out with an impact brochure, and we're always looking for new partners. So if you have any ideas, or if you're interested in partnering with Tech4Eva, do let us know. The last goal is to try to also integrate some of these femtech solutions into the healthcare system, or encourage more partnerships, yes, for example, with hospitals or health insurance companies. So Promotion Santé is one of our network partners today. So we also have many other partners. You can see their logos on this slide. They help us amplify our voice and grow the community. So you might recognize some of these logos. Some of them are in Switzerland, but some are also international to expand the reach globally. So here you can see the logos of the 17 startups that were selected this year and the countries they come from. So we have 11 countries represented. And then 16 of these will present today. So the order will be by area. So we'll start with the wellness area and mental health. And I'm going to pass on the screen to my colleague Amalia. If you can share the slides, Amalia. Yeah. So next up, we have Cosmo Medical.
All right, so I got 2 minutes. Hi, everybody. My name is Derek. I'm the founder and CEO of Cosmo Medical, and we're aiming to become the world leader in precision gynecological devices. If we've never met before, you might be wondering, why is a guy like me starting a women's health company aiming to create Invisalign for gynecology? Half the story is I'm an ex-engineer turned general manager with a successful exit in urological diagnostics. The other half of the story is that I watched my grandmother go through her pelvic conditions and knew some of the best doctors in the world and really couldn't get her the care I thought she deserved. Now, pelvic floor disorders affect half of all women in their lifetime, and it's shrouded in shame, silence, isolation, and lack of provisional care, which creates an exciting opportunity in women's health and aging tech, both growing at a 15% CAGR. A relatively common and unknown therapy, what's known as a pessary, is essentially a trial and error device placed inside of the vagina to support pelvic organs, over 10 million or so globally per year, with relatively poor health outcomes. Physical therapy in this field is the fastest growing subsegment in physical therapy, but has limited effectiveness. Surgery is mired by transvaginal mesh lawsuits, leading the FDA to ban transvaginal mesh in 2019, with poor outcomes with current replacement surgeries. We're developing Gynethotics, the world's first digital gynecology platform, including diagnostics, AI-driven cloud software, and 3D printing. We are early stage commercial. We just got Health Canada and FDA clearance in the last year. We've secured a great patent portfolio, and we have clinical studies demonstrating improved satisfaction in all patients to date, with the American Urogynecology Society responding with innovation is needed, and this demonstrates translational success. Beyond pessaries, We envision our platform improving the entire care pathway by combining a supportive device with physical therapy to improve childbirth to improve recovery post-childbirth. And we're presenting science next month on our ability to improve surgical outcomes. We're really excited to be presenting that science as we go forward. Overall, we're creating a massive market opportunity impacting half of all women, creating Invisalign for gynecology. We have already cleared our first FDA clearance and Health Canada. We have positive clinical data, and we're currently raising. So happy to network with any groups that might be interested in joining us on our mission to create precision devices for gynecological care. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. So next up, we have Hormona. So feel free to share your slides.
So hi, everyone. My name is Jasmine. I am the COO and co-founder of Hormona. We are empowering women to live better and healthier lives through taking control of their hormones with the help of AI and at-home testing. Our patent-pending innovation combines at-home urine tests and innovative image processing for instant test results, completely removing the need for a lab. And by continuously testing and monitoring our hormone levels, we can build an individualized, personalized hormone baseline and understand what's normal for each individual woman. Throughout life, we can therefore proactively detect any imbalances or issues related to our menstrual, reproductive, or menopausal health, providing women with the support and care needed both in and outside the workplace that's currently missing for hormone-related issues. Please join us on our journey to revolutionize women's health. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jasmine. Next up, we have Vital Start Health, if you're here.
Yes. Hi there, Simone. My video somehow is not working, but
Okay. We
looks
see
like
your
some of the app
slides.
is captured, so I'll just be able to share. But hello, everyone. This is so exciting. I am really thrilled to be able to share more about Vital Start with you. So at Vital Start Health, our vision is to be that trusted mental health companion across that complete women's healthcare journey, providing whole person health. And the key thing that we're bringing to the table is newer modalities such as virtual reality. 1 in 5 women around the world today has a serious mental health condition. And we do know that the existing methods are either taking too long or are happening after the fact. And hence, it takes a lot of time and effort and expenses to get into talk therapy or even evidence-based approaches like CBT. What we're also seeing is that one of the key areas where mental health is playing a big factor is maternity, with CDC confirming rise in maternal morbidity and mortality attributed to mental health. So our goal is to really look at this issue and solve this problem and disrupt this space of existing traditional canonical mental health care by bringing in a modality such as virtual reality that has been supported by a body of evidence for effectiveness. In the US, employers have also complained that maternity care is now one of their topmost expenditures. So because of that, we're looking to really go after this space, looking at a family as a dyad with the mother and the partner or dad included in the treatment journey as we go after that $500 billion market, which is the complete women's health space globally. Our platform, Courage, is very unique. We have a psychoeducation, which is anticipatory guidance, clinical education provided to the patients, along with coping, relaxation, and then analytics to really drive that longitudinal scorecard of a patient to learn what is it that really trips them and how can they be provided better help so that we avoid this, the time that it takes and the expenses that it takes. And we want to empower both the providers and the patients as they use this program at home or on site, improving access and equity, reducing costs and risks, and of course, being predictable and engaging. So we have an MVP that is live. We're actually doing an employer pilot right now in the US and through health insurance. So one of the big things that we have learned is market access is very crucial. And so we're going through health insurance for our existing program that has a VR add-on and the VR itself. Everything will be through health insurance. That's a key mission of our company. And we lease the headsets and we have a dedicated team, supporting this. We are seen as a pioneering company in this space, and we have done some initial clinical studies showing 70% reduction in stress and anxiety. We're working with the Veterans Health Administration, Cigna, and have been funded by Drexel Science Center, and we are a pen company. Have a phenomenal team backing this. I'm a Wharton alum with deep expertise across business and technology. My co-founder is a professor at Penn Medicine. And, we've won a lot of awards. We've filed for patents. And what we're really looking for now is funding to go after this $100 million market that we're projecting. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Next up, we are moving on to the reproductive maternal health sector, and we have VivoSense Medical.
Eisprungtag entstanden und darüber bin ich super dankbar, weil das wäre ohne Uwe-Ring einfach nicht möglich gewesen.
Uwe-Ring ist ein Ring, der aus einem Plexarinring besteht und einem Keramiksensor.
Der wird spätestens am 6. Zyklustag vaginal eingesetzt. Das funktioniert ganz einfach wie bei einem Tampon.
Die Daten werden per Bluetooth ausgelesen mit einer dazugehörigen App. Und die App macht alle Auswertungen. Die Frau muss selbst nichts machen, außer ihren Zyklusbeginn einzutragen. Und in der Übersicht sieht sie einfach, wie ist ihr Fruchtbarkeitsstatus für diesen heutigen Tag. Und das ist das Einzigartige an der Methode, dass es eben nicht nur die Daten retrospektiv analysiert, sondern eine Musteranalyse macht. Das gibt es bisher sonst weltweit nicht. Sie kann sich auch retrospektiv ihre Zyklen anschauen. Sie kann auch sehen, wann prognostisch der nächste Eisprung ist, auf Grundlage der vorhergegangenen Eisprünge. Wir haben letztes Jahr eine Auswertung gemacht über die Schwangerschaftsraten unter unseren Nutzerinnen mit Kinderwunsch und haben zu unserer eigenen Verblüffung festgestellt, dass unsere Erfolgsraten da höher sind als die im IVF-Register in Deutschland geführt werden.
Unsere Vision ist es, die Frauen zu empowern, selbstbestimmt über ihren Zyklus Bescheid zu wissen. Außerdem so vielen wie möglich Frauen zu helfen, ein Baby zu bekommen, auf ganz natürliche Weise, ohne verfrühte Kinderwunschbehandlung.
Okay, great. And sorry about the sound there, but we will move on to CareNX.
I'm Aditya, founder and CEO of CareNX Innovations, a women healthcare technology startup from India. At CareNX, we have developed SyndiColpo device, which is a smartphone-based portable cervical cancer screening technology. We invented SyndiColpo because cervical cancer screening remains to be one of the challenges for developing countries like India. We expect SyndiColpo to be in the market by early January 2023 and are undergoing multicentric trials for clinical approval right now. We need financial support and market access in order to make this technology a reality. Thank you.
Okay. Next up, I'm not sure Galina is back, so maybe we'll jump to Harmonia Healthcare. If you'd like to share your screen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Leslie Galton. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Harmonia. Our initial focus is treating nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. So currently 1 in 4 women seek a medical intervention to treat nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. On average, a woman misses 23 days of work as a result of these symptoms during their pregnancy. And to treat these women, there's a broken care model. We estimate that about $2.2 billion in direct costs are associated with treating these patients, as well as lost income or economic costs. The opportunity here in the US, which is where we're based, is we think 70% of women experience nausea and vomiting. Again, 1 in 4 women seek a prescription intervention to treat these symptoms. The more severe end of the spectrum, which is known as hyperemesis gravidarum, constitutes about 10 to 14% of pregnancies. We have leading medical partnerships, first with Dr. Marlena Fazo, who is our chief scientific officer and discovered the gene and protein linked to hyperemesis gravidarum. We've also partnered with Dr. Householder, who started the first clinic of its kind. He's already treated up to 500 patients with these symptoms, as well as the patient advocacy group, the HER Foundation. Our business model is quite simple. What we're doing is delivering outpatient care. Typically, patients go to the ER to get treatment for nausea and vomiting, particularly when it's severe and they're losing weight. We will be treating patients in an outpatient setting in concert with their OBGYN. Our milestones to date, the company was inceptioned in December of 2023. We treated our first patient in May of 2024, and we began accepting government insurance in July 2024 and commercial insurance in August. We have a dual approach to scaling our platform. One is direct patient care, and two, we also have an innovative side of our business where we're conducting clinical research with our chief scientific officer.
So we're back to Galena Innovations.
Yes. My name is Ashley Crafton, and I am the CEO of Galena Innovations. We are developing the Hannah Cervical Cup, the solution to preterm birth, the leading cause of infant mortality. Aside from medications that don't work and cause harm, all other prevention techniques compress the cervix closed. This only weakens the cervix and can lead to birth. Our technology strengthens the cervix. The patented Hannah Cervical Cup applies tension, causing collagen realignment and stiffness. Stiff cervices don't change, and these babies don't deliver early. We safely increase cervical stiffness by 38% in our live human study. We are starting our next clinical trial soon and getting to market in 3 years. We're raising a seed round and would love anyone involved. And over my years of work, it's really become apparent that the health of a woman and her child are inseparably connected. Any improvement in one always improves the other. And when you improve the life of a mother or her baby, you improve a family, communities, generations, and society. So I would love for us to be that change together.
Great, thank you. And I hope you got your children safely home. Okay, we
Yes.
will go back to prevention now. EndoCure, Adas, you're here.
Yes, thank you. So thank you for this opportunity to present EndoCure. I'm Dr. Hadas Ziso, the CEO and founder, and I'm here as I'm passionate about impacting the lives of 200 million patients worldwide. We address the problem of endometriosis. That is a very, very difficult condition. I don't know if you all know about it because it was a little bit under the radar, but it is still very common. 10% of reproductive age women are affected. It causes chronic debilitating pain, irregular menstrual cycle, and infertility. And it takes such long time to diagnose. The women are suffering for 7 to 11 years until they are diagnosed with this condition. And one of the reasons is that the disease is caused by lesions so small that they are invisible. Most of them are invisible in any imaging modality that exists today. So the patients are often dismissed, misdiagnosed, being told it's in your head. Even nowadays, these are real things that I hear from patients nowadays, unfortunately. And therefore, they are forced to go laparoscopic surgery for the diagnosis. This is the gold standard today in the US. So our solution, the Revelant system, is an innovative robotic AI-powered ultrasound imaging that produces objective 3D imaging with 10-micron resolutions volumetric scan that enable us to detect lesions even smaller than 1 millimeter. And this is so important because there's no correlation between the dimensions of the lesions to the extent of the symptoms. At the final step, after having detecting these lesions, we will use AI algorithms for flagging them, making it easier for the physician to have to use a complete diagnosis, a surgery pre-plan, and ongoing care for the patient. We already proved it works in preclinical trial model. You can see here, these are very, very small mouse, and we detected 1 millimeter thick lesions that are invisible today in any imaging modality, as I explained before. And this is how we plan to change the reality very soon, quite soon. Usually you think of medical device and you think it's forever, but in 2 years we are expected to be in the market, change the way they diagnose today with the astronomous delay that they have and the standard of surgical diagnosis. We will offer quick, accurate, and non-invasive complete diagnosis, enabling the physician to have a tailored treatment plan, unlike the trial and error-based treatment they have today. A pre-plan for surgery that today is almost totally blind because they don't have mapping. Monitor patients with endometriomas that have 4 times higher risk for cancer, and eventually break the vicious cycle of late diagnosis, recurrence, and progression of this very difficult condition with objective routine follow-up tool for disease management, enabling the physician to react on time to new lesions occurrence. So this is the change that we bring, and we'll be very happy if you would like to join us in impacting the lives of millions of people worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Adas. Next up, we have CC Diagnostics.
Good afternoon. My name is Ron. I'm the CEO at CC Diagnostics, where we work on improving cervical cancer diagnostic screening. Now, cervical cancer is the 4th most common cancer in the world. It's, however, preventable. Early screening, correct follow-up of HPV positive women. And I say correct because the current methodology doesn't work. The WHO launched an initiative to eliminate cervical cancer by increasing screening performance, participation, and capacity. Now, indeed, low performance. 76% of the cancer is currently being detected. So out of 100 women that come for a check who have cancer, only 76 of them are being detected. And for the other 24, it is late. It's too late, actually, with all the negative side effects of that and high morbidity and mortality. Then there is insufficient participation. Only 15% of the current targeted women eligible for screening participates. A number of reasons are there, but especially invasive sampling, lying there waiting for a gynecologist or a doctor to take a sample is the most unpleasant thing that women indeed indicates in surveys. There's also limited capacity. Even if that 15% would grow, we can't support that today with the current methodologies. Now, the solution we, CC Diagnostics, bring to market is called the MEFFACT. It's a PCR test, a quantitative PCR test, and we are actually not looking at an HPV infection with this vial. We look at damages in DNA that could lead to cancer, and with that, we not only detect more cancer, but also very early. So our cancer detection goes up to 97% from the mentioned 76%. There's also a 6-fold reduction in hands-on time. So in automation and larger numbers, crunching larger numbers, very important. And next, we are compatible with all currently used samples, including the self-sample material, where now women can take in the privacy of their home the sample. I thank you for your attention.
Next up, we have Calico Biosystems. See Marie-Agnes is here. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Marie-Agnes Doucet, CEO and co-founder of Calico Biosystems. This is the first platform predicting life-changing drugs for cancer patients. The problem we are addressing at Calico Biosystems is the poor efficacy of cancer therapeutics, with only 10% of patients that benefit clinically from approved drugs and more than 95% of newly developed drugs that fail due to a lack of efficacy. Each one of these drugs costs $1 billion to develop. And the reason is that the preclinical models that we use for efficacy testing are extremely artificial, and they fail to recapitulate patient tumor complexity. So the solution is Calico Biosystems. And our first product, CaliPower, this is also our USP and, sorry about that. This is also our USP and MSP. Test drug from pharma and biotechs directly and female and male patient tumor, and therefore we can reliably predict drug efficacy in patients. Thanks to this innovation, we de-risk clinical testing of our customer, and we anticipate twice as many drugs approved for patients with cancer, with a 45% reduction in drug development cost. We have a B2B business model with a $3 million investment need, and our customers are mostly drug developers. We target the preclinical stage market with a value of $20 billion per year. And our first objective is proof of commercialization by leveraging our MSP, followed by growth of our business by penetrating the US market. And we will do that through strategic partnering. As source of revenue, we have mostly our product sales and also starting from year 3, long-term deals with large pharma with which we have already engaged discussion. And finally, we need $1.25 million US dollar capital for the first year that we have already secured, followed by a $3 million investment to ensure our growth and innovation starting the second year. At year 5 in mid-2029, we exit with an EBITDA of $7.7 million US dollar and accumulated net cash flow of $44 million US dollar. This is our team. My business partner is Calico Turini, is CSO and co-founder of Calico Biosystem, and we have in our scientific board and advisory board key stakeholders from the public and private sectors. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Next up, we have Hero Support. Giovanna.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can see my slide properly. Thanks. So we are speaking about breast cancer. Every 4 minutes, a woman will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And half of these women will go through radiation therapy because it's a powerful tool to kill cancer cells. But due to not optimal breast position, we also kill healthy cells, which can lead even in cardiac and secondary lung cancer death. Today, Hero Support has developed a bra-like immobilization device, personalized, that will change this. We will provide the perfect breast position for each patient at each treatment session, quickly and precisely. This means that we can reduce by 30% the treatment times while improving side effects and quality of life of patients, which is extremely important with a population of more younger patients coming in. And this also while we preserve the dignity of the patient because our device actually screens the breast. So, but this is only actually the beginning of our journey to produce effective solution for all cancer patients. So I am Giovanna Di Pasquale, CEO of Hero Support Team. We are fundraising, and please support us to unlock the potentials of radiation therapy to its full side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Giovanna. Next up, we have Deep Look Medical.
Hi, I'm Marissa Fayer, the CEO of Deep Look Medical, where we are revolutionizing imaging specifically for women. So at Deep Look Medical, we're a software technology company with our first product, DL Precise, FDA cleared and commercial. We are in market now, and we are just pre-revenue, but just hopefully by a month. So we are software technology that can visualize soft tumor lesions on all imaging modalities across ultrasound, CT, MRI, and mammograms. And what we do specifically is we can see inside dense tissue, and this is really important, especially for breast cancer. So we can visualize at a lesion level very specifically what is happening in an area that a radiologist wants to, quote unquote, take a deeper look. So we help companies by being able to diagnose early. And when you diagnose a woman early, unfortunately, with breast cancer, faster recovery times, less cost to insurance, and better health for the patient. So at Deep Look Medical, we are impacting the lives of women all around the world. Thank you.
Okay, great. And next up, we have Namida, still in the prevention category.
Tears are powerful and can tell us many things. They appear whenever we're happy or when we're sad, while visiting loved ones or achieving our goals, saying goodbyes and sometimes even hellos, while watching priceless moments or simply being moved by music. Tears bridge the gap between what is and what could be. Meet Aria, a convenient new tool to help women navigate their breast health journey using proteins from tears. Aria was inspired and designed by women who understand the challenges real women face. Juggling work, caring for immediate and extended family members, and navigating increasing financial challenges. Life takes over, and attention to our own health and wellness just doesn't happen. Besides, it takes time to navigate the ever-changing options and guidelines in breast health. But Aria helps make this simple. It's an inexpensive, easily accessible, non-invasive companion test that can be sent right to your door. The sample collection kit comes with everything you need to collect your own tear sample and ship it back to our lab. Why tears? They're simple, clean, and easy to collect, and provide a quick first glance of what's going on in your body right now. In blood, certain large components can make it difficult to see small cancer markers. These large components are not present in tears, making small cancer markers much easier to spot. When collecting, a small strip of filter paper is set just within your bottom eyelid and typically takes no longer than 5 minutes to get the necessary amount. Once removed, the strip is placed into the tube and voila, your part is done. After you collect your sample, ship it back to our lab in the prepaid packaging provided with your kit, and your tears will be tested by the Aria team. Results will be available in your online account. Your tears are evaluated using Aria's proprietary algorithm to generate your Aria short-term risk level. You can use this information to prioritize the steps you want to take in your breast health journey. So you may ask, is Aria for me? Of course. Aria was made for women by women. Aria harmonizes both simplicity and comfort to help you prioritize your breast health, to give you and your healthcare provider the way to establish the best path tailored just for you and make your decisions affordable and accessible. Aria by Namita Lab. Learn more at aria.care.
We are moving on to the menopause space with Sindre Glass, and that's our last pitch of the day. And then we'll move on to Helen's presentation.
Hi, I'm Gabriela, CEO and founder of Sindre Glass. Sindre Glass is the first startup in Latam focused on comprehensive menopausal care, but that also complements companies' diversity and inclusion efforts to improve women's health and retain their talent. We are on a mission to transform the experience of menopause in Latam. We have a huge challenge. Menopause is a taboo. 8 out of 10 people know little to nothing about menopause. 9 out of 10 women have symptoms. 1 in 2 women report that menopause has an impact on their work, and 1 in 2 women is diagnosed with a concurrent condition. This mirrors what we found in other studies internationally. And it's not a surprise. There are 34 possible symptoms, and 8 have a direct impact on performance at work. Imagine having hot flashes, insomnia, fatigue, irritability, joint pain, brain fog. This, of course, has an impact on your work. There's a huge talent leak and revenue loss. Women are at the height of their careers, and they face discrimination and microaggressions, sometimes incapacitating menopause symptoms, and more caregiving duties. This brings you to burnout and voluntary resignation, decrease of working hours, decreasing productivity, and no access to leadership roles. We all lose from menopause. As it is right now, menopause costs a lot and will cost even more. So what do? We have a synergy between a B2B2C model and a B2C plus a foundation. In the B2C model, we have a one-stop shop for women in menopause that includes community and conversation, online diagnostic tests, health education, women's circles to support women at this stage, and the first virtual clinic for women over 40. In the B2B2C model, we do a diagnostic, then we do awareness raising workshops on menopause, and support groups and virtual clinic as a benefit for women at this stage. Finally, we do an impact report, and we help companies design their inclusion policies for women in menopause. This is a great investment in terms of talent retention, increased productivity, reduction of absenteeism, reduction in health expenses, and more women leaders. We have a portfolio of corporate, pharmaceutical, and government agencies. We transform the experience of menopause, generating impact in terms of access to knowledge and quality comprehensive care, improved well-being and better health, and more inclusive and discrimination-free workplaces. We contribute to the SDGs. We have the vision to transform the menopause experience for 1 million Hispanic women. We have the team. We're founded, funded, directed, and operated by women for women. We have the talent. We have a plan. We need you. We need mission-driven impact investors, companies, organizations, academic institutions that want to be part of this movement for gender equality. Together, we can conquer the next frontier of inclusion, solving a women's problem that affects all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriela. Now I pass on the mic to Helen. Helen is an economist and a corporate health consultant at Swiss Health Promotion. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And Gabriela, thank you for what you just presented. All of these cohorts presented phenomenal individual specific solutions. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go upscale a little bit, and then we're going to see what companies are really doing. It's what we call intersectionality. You know, Gabriela already spoke about it. Health, well-being, menopause, productivity, burnout, stress. We've seen the relationship here. So let's have a look at workplace health and well-being. I am representing Swiss Health Promotion today, which is a federal foundation funded by insurance companies and the cantons of Switzerland. Everything we supply is free of charge for organizations and corporations. So looking forward, my goal with you is to spend, you know, we had foreseen about 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to try to bring it down to 10 minutes for all of you. We've all been listening to a lot, and I'd really like to get to our panel discussion as quickly as possible. You will all receive these slides, so if you need more information, just reach out. Let's dive in. Raise awareness and take action. Women's health facts. Again, intersectionality. What is happening? Today, there is gender inequality in healthcare. There is slow progress due to deficit in funding. By elevating the importance, and most of you said this, in the workplace, we can deliver better, more inclusive data. Women are nearly half of our workforce today. There are gender-specific needs. And doing this, as many of you mentioned, will relate to organizational, productivity, retention, engagement, work-life balance. I heard stress mentioned. I heard burnout mentioned. And inclusivity, like you just said, Gabriela. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And there are legal and ethical obligations for us to do something for women's health, like for everyone. Very interestingly, with all of you, the top 4 women's health issues have all come up today. Your cohort shows heart health, cancer, reproductive health, mental health, the top 4 women's health issues today. Given those 4 health issues, raising awareness in the real situation in the workplace, these are Swiss statistics provided by the Job Stress Index. 29% of active people feel tired or very tired. 51% are feeling a delicate balance between resources and constraints. That's stress. That means half of the working population is stressed. 43% of new invalidity pensions are granted for mental health, and 7.6 billion Swiss francs in Switzerland alone are allotted to this. Intersectionality with women. Women are 60% more likely than men to suffer from job-related stress and anxiety, which lead to serious health conditions like heart disease, depression, burnout, and cancer. So we're getting this relationship, this connection. That was our goal today, to relate workplace health with women's health. Today, the trends in workplace well-being, it is no longer a nice to have. You'll see that in the panel discussion with Christian Herbst in a few minutes. It is a strategic priority. All of your products have a place in the workplace. Mental well-being, physical well-being, inclusivity, this all came up today. The alignment of values, identifying people are quitting the workplace because they're not being taken care of. Women need this. Digital well-being, financial well-being, and preventative health. All of this ties into these amazing products that you are all providing and services. Those are the trends and priorities in workplace well-being today. So this is raising our awareness. For small, a lot of people think it's only for big multinationals, but I think it's very important to understand that small and medium-sized companies are almost more effective. And why is that? Small entrepreneurs, evidence suggests that entrepreneurs are at a higher risk of burnout. They are more socially isolated, and they tend to be very passionate about their work. So if they're stressed, if it's a woman and she's unwell, the entire company is infected by that. For small and medium-sized companies, leaders care more. They know their people. Participation is higher with small groups. And small businesses, health and well-being can help boost morale and burnout without spending a lot of money. And finally, leaders need to show by walking the talk. And again, in small companies, it has more impact. So given all of this impact with small and medium-sized companies, the awareness, we at Swiss Health Promotion have 4 specific tools. All of these tools are available at no charge online. If you want to work with a consultant to guide you through that, you would pay a consultant. We have accredited consultants. And I'm just going to run you through these, and I'm going to give you the links to all of them very, very quickly. The leadership kit is 5 leadership action areas with a leadership test and 25 tools to use with your teams within the corporation. And just to get that link with women's health, we're looking at engagement. We're looking at relationships within the team, achieving objectives, purpose, purposeful alignment, and emotions. That's the kind of things. Imagine that linked to health and well-being. I've put the feminine sign near all of these because all of these 5 dimensions of well-being are very, very relevant to women, women's well-being and women's health, mental and physical. The second tool, the HR toolbox. These are for HR professionals, small and medium-sized companies. These are at a glance arguments, studies, effects, and legal considerations, checklists, templates, activities, and instructions with customizable tools. I'm just giving you one example here, but we're looking at, sorry, it's written in French. The tools are available in French, German, and Italian. But I've put a little feminine side next to every single tool that is available, from everything from workplace harassment, flex time. I think I took flex time as an example. We've got flex time examples. We've got facts and figures, and these are all available online. Tools, impact, arguments, legal aspects for each one of these items. So this allows small and medium-sized companies to break down all of these dimensions of well-being and have all the tools at your fingertips to use. The job stress analysis is an in-house job stress analysis. You can see where your hot points are. Specific questions are there by gender. And again, this is in 9 languages available, so it is in English. It is a scientifically validated online survey. It's free up to 29 employees and about $5 per person for the pro version. I'm giving you access to test this yourselves online. And again, you can link this to the reason for using any of your products from your cohorts related to women's stress. And last but not least, Switzerland is the only country that actually has a workspace-friendly label. This friendly workspace label, which someone on our panel actually obtained last year. I'm an assessor for that label. Currently, we have 108 labeled organizations in our country. It actually allows us to assess, are we doing enough for our people, women and men? But there are women-specific criteria. And again, all of your tools can fit into these sub-tools. The results can give us a reason to use everything you're providing. So I've gone very quickly, but you're all going to be getting the deck. The conclusions and the business case are here about what we are getting by doing workplace health management. Again, you can look at all of this data. The case is very, very clear. The return on investment is 5-to-1 for investment in workplace health. What are you going to be walking home with is all of the links to the leadership kit, the HR toolbox, the job stress analysis, the check. These are all tools you can just click through and access online. A brochure for psychological health for women, the info sheet behind that job stress analysis, accredited consultants, and there we are. So I think, Simon, that's enough basis for us now to jump into our panel discussion with Christian and Vanessa.
Hello.
So
Hello,
welcome,
everyone.
Christian. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Would you please each, you know what, Simon, you don't need to share the screen there. I'm going to let them each just present themselves. We've got their beautiful faces online. So Vanessa, if you could just give us 2-3 words about who you are and why you're here, and then the same thing for you, Christian, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Hélène. So my name is Vanessa Bensemoun, and I am the head of organizational transformation in Groupe Mutuel. Briefly, my job consists of making our work more efficient by removing low-value tasks, whether through technological automation, process optimizations, or improving collaboration. Personally, I spent the main part of my career in IT, and now I'm part of the executive team. I'm also a woman, mother of 3, age of 20, 18, and 9. And I work part-time since I have them because it's part of my work-life balance. So because of me, I am sensitive to the challenges women face in the workplace, and especially to initiatives that help us balance our lives as employee, woman, and mother. And today I'm delighted to share with you how Groupe Mutuel is addressing the need of women who make up about 60% of our employees.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. And I do have to just congratulate Groupe Mutuel because they are making phenomenal efforts. They actually hold the Friendly Workspace label. Since last year, I get goosebumps because I was the assessor, and I'm very proud of what you've done and what you're doing in workplace well-being. So welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Christian, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here. I'm Christian. I live in Switzerland since 20 years, and from my family background, I have 2 daughters. So my home was always full of women with all their friends. So that connection doesn't really, make me an expert on the topic, but the expertise comes from 30 years of working with companies, of working with individuals. I'm working as a coach. I train coaches. I've built leadership schools. I work with leadership and organizations. And my vision is always, or the goal that I have, is to look at individuals. How are they doing? Coaching and mental health. I worked in mental health for a while. And then on the other side, it's really the organization itself. So to really work on the culture, on the surrounding, on the atmosphere in an organization is a direct impact on the health of people, on the mental health and on the health of people. This is proven, and that's what I work for. Our company, you see it, is written with 2R. That's not a mistake. We're sparring. We consider us a sparring partner for CEOs. We consider us a sparring partner for organizations to implement ways of working that are really boosting not only the success, but also the health of the people.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Christian. And
Thank
again,
you.
I think it's really important for us all to use that word of intersectionality, which is the link between well-being, health, diversity, inclusion. It is really one big package. And when we're too focused on one, we don't see the others. So I'd love to start with you, Vanessa. How have you at Groupe Mutuel adapted its well-being programs to address the unique health challenges that women face, like, I don't know, menopause, work-life balance, daycare, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. At Go Mutual, we enjoy a very flexible environment with several options to enhance our work-life balance. For example, for all employees, both men and women, we can benefit from, for example, up to 2 days of remote work per week. We have flexible working hours between 6:13 and 7 p.m. We also enjoy restrooms, flexible office furniture such as electric desk, like I'm using now, and even workstation with treadmills. And specifically, sorry, for women, we support expectant mothers by providing maternity guide. We have 16 weeks of fully paid maternity leaves. We also have breastfeeding rooms. Sorry. We also have breastfeeding rooms in the workplace, allowing mothers to breastfeed for as long as they wish. For all women, we also have action like providing a breast self-exam kit, PALPA, which comes from the Tech4Eva cohort to raise awareness about breast cancer prevention. And still linked to Tech4Eva, we have an internal club where employees can discuss women health and related topics like menopause or menstruation or even gender-specific medicine. And my colleague Anna, I think it's online, so she can just interrupt me if she wants to add something like that. And finally, I think we also offer a special mentoring program for women in collaboration with l'EFEA, which is a very known institution in Switzerland to support personal and professional development. All these concrete and not exhaustive actions show our commitment to create a supportive workplace for women's well-being in Groupe Mutuel.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I know, Christian, you and I working as consultants and coaches. I happen to be a menopause coach. And by the way, I never do menopause coaching without doing andropause coaching, because I think they both deserve their place. But looking at those things, we see a lot of things being put into place into companies. And my question for you, Groupe Mutuel, they're exceptional. They've got the label. The label is renewed every 3 years. They're using various products that are sustainable. My question for you is, how do you ensure with organizations that these initiatives are not just random acts of wellness, that they're not just a one-off, that they actually stick as part of a sustainable ongoing commitment like Groupe Mutuel?
You addressed the main topic, huh? We don't want to just have a one time, we do a workshop and then everything's great. No, it's not. We have actually turned down business because we felt they just want to do a one-time thing. So you need to be able to support or accompany this process for a long time. That's the first thing. It's a long-time project. It's rather you do short interventions, but for a long time than doing this big thing, fireworks and everything. One of the important things is, of course, is training. And what we do is we focus on leadership of the 4 things that you have mentioned. Of course, everything. I mean, we use the friendly workspace. We work with friendly workspace companies because they have this open attitude to implement behaviors and attitudes that support their people. And so this is a good way to just show also, okay, we're open for this. So I said long term. and then it's a real thing. So if you, as a top leadership, I would say, are not willing to look at your own, in the German language, we say, look at your own nose. So if we don't look at ourselves and just say, you know, please come in and work with our leaders. No, we have to look in ourselves, and it's a deep work. It's deep work because it's a change of mindset. And so that's the second thing. I think the third thing, and obviously you've shared about it, but there are amazing tools. And we have tools that we have developed. We use the friendly workspace, the leadership kit tools. I was actually very happy to be a part of developing this as well years ago with Gesundheitsförderung Schweiz. So that's beautiful to now be able to use those. It's small things. It's like this. You talk about it. It's a card that you have on your table, and you pick it up. You have to have reminders. You know how that is. If we're not reminded constantly of the patterns we want to change, it's not going to work. So it's a long-term thing. It costs something. It has a price. I have to be willing to pay the price and use tools that remind you.
Fantastic answer. And I think, again, we saw that return on investment 5 to 1. So we know the investment is going to be worth it. We've seen that. I think this is an incredible message for all of the people in the Tech4Eva cohort. Don't promote your products as the quick fix. Having in mind everything that we can do to get it embedded into the culture will help everybody in the long run. And using this messaging, it just makes so much sense. Just one other question for you, Christian, while we're on that. Have you noticed anything specific in terms of women leaders? I'm just curious. Anything show up for you that you'd like to share?
A lot. I work a lot with women. We now have women that are 30 years younger than me. So we also have this generation issue. We have, and so what I want to say is it's the equality that we talk about, or diversity, whatever you want to call it. Of course, it's an organizational issue, but it's also an issue of the leaders and the people who work in the company, because I have to change. I have to be aware of what's happening and support this. I can tell you a story with one of my colleagues. I was in a meeting with her, and she was the CEO of the company I was accompanied with. And she's a great woman, outspoken, everything. And she was leading the meeting, and she was asking questions, and the people would answer me. They would look at me and answer to me. And that's what I realized, not only in this situation, but in other situations as well. I have a very clear talk with the people that work with me. How can I support them? What can I do that this does not happen? Because it still happens a lot.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and so we're put in these boxes. You know, this is the old white man, which I don't want to be in that box either. But they look at me because I have some gray hair, and they talk to me, which is pathetic. You know.
Thank you so much. I really wanted to hear that story. And Vanessa, I'd love to hear you rebound on this. You know, what have been your challenges in putting these programs into place? Have you also noticed issues with either taboos, because we don't do that in the workplace, we don't want to talk about it, like menopause has been forever, or what Christian has said, this embedded culture of why would women be different? Just share with us, please.
Yeah, actually, I totally agree with what Christian just said. I think one of the main challenges we have faced is overcoming skepticism around these topics and creating a space where that can be discussed freely in the workspace. And because as women, we sometimes hesitate to talk about sensitive issues like menstruation or menopause, exactly because, as Christian said, men don't care about that. And they don't, more than they don't care, they don't want to hear about that. They don't want to see that. So I think the main challenges and the main facilitator we have in GrowMutual for that is the internal club linked to Tech4Eva, because it's a space where everyone, mainly women, but we also have men in this club, they can bring up this subject in a safe area. because this area is just here for that. But after that, not only in the club, you talk with colleagues about that. And petit à petit, comment on dit en français?
Little by little, yeah.
Yeah, little by little, the mindset is changing.
Yeah.
And yes, and that's exactly, if you can hold up those cards again, Christian.
Yeah.
The cards are called Let's Talk. And the objective of those cards is to start these conversations. So it's a great way. And again, you can all download those from the website. You've got all the links that I gave you. They are part of the leadership toolkit. And it's very interesting for a leader to actually go in and do the leadership self-assessment and then do the let's talk and see if the people, what they're saying is what he thought or she thought. Very interesting to be able to compare that. We want to open up the conversations. So we've got the pretext for that. Let's just hone in now, just quickly with each of you. Let's start with Christian. What about the future? What advice would you give to the group that's on this call? We've heard a lot and seen a lot. What would you like to share with us?
I don't know if it's the future or the present, but Vanessa talked about it. I'm not so sure that people or men are not willing to see that, but it's something they just don't see it. It's just that the awareness is not there. So I think the present or the future, the world that we live in is a fast world, and we don't see the things. So more and more the ability to stop and look deeply and allow even the pain that I feel about what's happening with me, about even how I behave in certain areas, which is my blind eye. I think it's awareness, it's really mindfulness, it's those elements that are so important that we're not just run, and we run to a wall. So as I said, I don't know if that's the future or the present, but more awareness, clear awareness of what's happening, and then, brave actions. And it costs something. It has a price, but it's not a nice to have. I think we all clear that the world has changed and is changing fast. It's accelerating. So I'm sure that that we have to adapt to a changing world, and that has a price, and we all need to be willing to pay the price. And sometimes it's just to stop and look.
Great advice. Vanessa, how would you?
I think we continue to work on 3 axes. The first one is the label friendly workspace. It's a wonderful tool, really, because it's we are driving by something.
It's a framework. It's
exactly
a clear framework you can use as a point of reference. I agree with you.
So this is the first axis. The second one is the leadership, leading by example. Personally, I can see that sharing my own experience changed the thing for some people and some women, because I am a woman, I have 3 children, I am an executive woman, I work part-time, and so what? It works. And this is important to her for some people, even men and women. And I think the third one is continuing to be involved in Tech4Eva, because there is a lot of things that are doing here, and we want to continue to bring it in the workplace.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Let's open up for questions. I see there are some questions in the chat. We can just continue this conversation like that. I see there's a hand up. Kirthika, would you like to ask a question?
Yes, I did have this, and I hope it's okay to do so. This was just something that was in my mind. Yesterday in the US, there's been a lot of news on mental health parity. So the Biden administration, this has been in the laws from 1996. That means an insurance company cannot block, mental health coverage So if you say you hurt your hand or something, along with the physical health doctor's visit, you're also supposed to be covered for a mental health visit in case you're feeling depressed from it.
Ah, that's
And so
neat.
it's an exciting time because this is supposed to have happened years ago, but they keep evading it and so on. So I was curious, in Switzerland, do you have laws in place for mental health parity or even maternal mental health and women's mental health sorts of things, or is it simply something employers are taking up? And what are the models that work? Thank you.
Very, very good question. The first thing that I will just tell you is the insurance model in Switzerland for employers is very different than the North
Yes.
American model.
Yeah.
Employers do not cover health insurance as a rule. So that's number one. There is a separation, which it's made it like pulling teeth for me for the last 25 years to actually get companies to do corporate health. Now they're doing corporate health. However, they didn't have that direct interest in it reducing their insurance bill. Companies like Groupe Mutuel, who are insurance companies, they're a little bit smarter on that because they are able to insure their employees and kind of do one-stop shopping. In terms of the law, there are more generic laws. There is not a specific law for men or for women. Some of mental health is covered by our health insurance. Vanessa, do you know any more about that?
I cannot tell you all the details because it
Me
depends on
either,
your
me either.
of
Huge.
your coverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I might just say you're asking for motivation. So it's one motivation is law. So the law forces you to do something. I think there's a big motivation now, even financially. Companies
Yes.
realize that the impact of treating building a different culture is that fluctuation goes down. The skills are strengthened, innovation is coming up, reduce stress and burnout. And this is, you can financially show, which you did.
I have, that
0.6
business case
billion.
I gave you. I've given you
This
all
is
the
a
links to
reason.
that. Mhm.
And then companies also, a lot of companies that come to us, they really want to do something for their people. They understand that they need to change something in order to, even the generation topic, the culture topic. How can we treat our employees in a way that it's sustainable? So there is I wouldn't say it's a total intrinsic motivation, but there is enough motivation to really change. And it's going to increase with the pressure put on companies in this world. Yeah.
Yes, there is. And I
Thank you.
love what Vanessa said, referring to the Friendly Workspace label, because the Friendly Workspace label is a framework with criteria. And I've given you all the link. It's a free link that as a company or organization, or even an individual, an entrepreneur, your own companies, you can test where you stand on the 25 criteria. It's 25 questions. And you can already, from that, you can hone a bit of a roadmap. You can see where you're strong, see where you're less strong. The same with the job stress analysis. The links I've given you, you can test it, see where you're at, and up to a certain number of people. It's provided by the Swiss government, available to everybody. You can see where you're at. And that already gives you a guideline where to go. Because as Christian said, most people come to us, they say, I really want to do something, but let's just say you don't have pregnant women in your company because they're men or they're old ladies. I just work with a company. The average age is 60 of 60% of their population. They're not pregnant. So it's really good to have tools so they can raise their awareness, know where the hot spots are, and then you all have your role to play in those areas. So I think, again, we're getting this intersectionality.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for myself, for Vanessa? Let's see.
Can I ask a question?
Please do.
So I'm from China originally. I think for me it's great to hear all the topics you discussed here. I feel as a developed country, I think you always have this scheme either in the organization or as a society as a whole, you have awareness. But I think by looking at China, so I just saw an article. So the topic is on the career woman's mental health in the era of population decline in China. And I think culturally, I feel for all the career women like me in China, we are suffering. I think it just so we want a career, but I think in the workplace there's no conversation as such, and I think that I think the kind of you discuss about that leadership, I think this is missing because they don't have the awareness. But in the same time, I feel from government point of view, they are aware this is the kind urgent of the population declining, but the policy they released is just the third child policy, or I think it just not that human touch in China at least. So I kind of just want to ask for your advice, or have you ever had experience working with country like in China, or how did you? What's the first step to tackle that so people can have awareness, the leadership can start to have awareness, and then we can then have the conversation about it. This is so important and urgent.
Thank you so much, Sue. This is such a good conversation. I will pipe in, and then Christian, I think you will pipe in. I have done global projects, and I've worked, with Thailand, with many, many, many countries. China is a country that, yes, decreasing population, but increasing aging at the same time. So it's very special. Let's face it, everybody. Everybody works, period. So work is a place we can do all the stuff we want to do. Given those two items, it is more crucial than ever. What I do, Zoo, is I start at the top. Not only do I start at the top, and I'm sure, Christian, we work exactly the same way. I involve stakeholders at all levels of the organization. One young, one old, one woman, one man, one black, one white. We get together in a room and we go through these templates and we say, where are we at? We decide where we're at, and together we create the roadmap. But if we're not walking the talk, if leadership is not in that room at the same time with those tools, it's useless. I'm just going to use the very strong word. Chris, I'd love to hear what you add to that.
Well, maybe a different angle. Of course, if you work internationally like I did, I worked with DHL for 10 years, and they are a global company. So it's very unique how you have to address it. What we work with, and what's also the backdrop of the leadership kit, is positive leadership. And positive leadership comes from positive psychology. So the issue is that the elements that help people to thrive in positive leadership, it's called the PERMA model, and you have mentioned those aspects. They are not Chinese, Indian, African, European. They're psychologically derived from who we are and what we need. And of course, there are differences, but in the root of our, and that's the issue. It's we don't look at an organization and do a bit more here and more, but we look at how can people thrive, and the logic is clear. If people do well, they perform well. And so I can't tell you how to approach it, but it might help to see it's not a European or Chinese thing. It's actually who we as people are and what we need. And then if we address or focus on these things, it actually can transform an organization on that level, that people are doing better, and that's not only men, women, and black, white, and it's the whole thing. Yeah. If that helps. I mean, it's just a very different way to look at it.
Yeah. Vanessa, I totally agree with you, Christian.
Now, I think if I may, some tools like the internal club that we have, just to raise the awareness between some people, and little by little, it can work as well. Because even if leaders are not here at the beginning, but they heard about something that happened, and maybe little by little it can work, and it's easy to put in place.
And it doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
And I think if we come back, we're really trying to focus on small and medium-sized companies. In fact, that's sort of a new piece that we're doing at Swiss Health Promotion. And yeah, small and medium, we don't have a lot of money to spend. So very simple exchanges, clubs, groups, coffees, things like that can be very, 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 very relevant. I've given everybody the link there to the positive psychology PERMA model. Again, that's super interesting to share. Would love to know if there are more questions in the group today.
There was one in the chat.
Yeah, well, there was one about preventative screening, and that was a little bit particular. Great, okay. Several cancer screening startups are within the Tech4Eva cohort. Do you have plans to provide some type of preventative screening for employees, or would you prefer that it be offered solely by the government screening programs? Again, Vanessa, I think I'm going to put that into your hands because we don't do, some companies do offer annual preventative screening. It depends on the country, it depends on the company. I don't know if at Groupe Mutuel you do preventative screening, breast cancer or other within Groupe Mutuel.
Yeah, we have introduced that in our products, but not only for our employees, but for for our women clients. And some products have this kind of options offered in.
That's really good to know. And I think that's super interesting for all of us. Remember, Vanessa works for an insurance company. So the fact that an insurance company provides that to their to their clients is also interesting. And just one more thing I'd like to bring up, since I am a health and wellness coach, we've got this notion of clients versus patients. And I just want to raise awareness with all of you in the cohort there. There are clients and patients. And it's just an important differentiation to make. And since everybody works, as Zhu mentioned in China, it's just important as you approach this, as Christian said, it's people, it's humans. We have to think of the intersectionality and the various angles of support here. Questions, thoughts? I did see there was one question in the chat about the pricing models. Kifika, I think that's better to talk about offline. As I said, Swiss Health Promotion provides products for large companies, small companies, medium-sized companies. Nothing they provide costs anything. It's all available online. Most of it is also in English and in 3 other languages. If you want someone to accompany you, that is basically when we start talking about pricing there. Let me just see. I see there's another question in the chat. Great. Okay. So what do you think, Simon? Any more questions?
I think there are no more questions. One last call? No?
Last call or a last piece of advice?
Last thoughts from your end, Christian, Vanessa, any last words that you'd like to say or share?
Well, in German, it said, es gibt nichts Gutes, außer man tut es. So there's nothing good apart from really doing it. So let's start doing all those things, open up to this, new world in a sense, this present world. Go for it. Yeah.
And start simple.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Don't start with the Everest. Start simple.
Yeah, exactly.
One step after the next one. Yeah.
Start simple, start
Right,
small. And it's the same rule, whether you're coaching or consulting, just start simple. I congratulate everybody for everything you're doing, for what you've created.
Thank you.
Please, let's all link into each other. If we can't have a conversation among ourselves, we can't tell our clients to do it.
Or patients.
Or patience. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa and Christian, for coming today.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciated your time and your effort. Thank
Thanks,
you, Samred,
everyone.
as well from Swiss Health Promotion. Thank you, Simon, Lan, the whole group. And I wish everybody the best of luck in getting a ton of financing so these wonderful products can see the day.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ellen.
Thank you.
To all the
Thank you.
speakers. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Helen, for moderating.
Thank you.
Have a
And
good
thank you,
evening.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.